Welcome back to Broke to Rich from Flipping Only in Cataclysm Classic. In this challenge, we're going to be flipping from 0 gold to 100k. We will be using my flipping guide and all the techniques and methods from it. So sit back and follow the journey. Episode number 4 of Broke to Rich, where we're just using the auction house and only flipping to make gold in Cataclysm Classic. So where we left off last episode, we did a bunch of recipe flipping. In this episode, we're going to focus more on transmogs. We currently have 5,528 gold in our bags, and we have a bunch of items still posted up on the auction house. Let's have a quick look at the TSM ledger, and we'll see what we've done so far throughout this series. So if we go down to resale, we can sell that we've in total profit, we've done 8,475 gold in profit with items that we have sold. Obviously we have a bunch more items still to be sold. Some of the top items, the top 3 items actually, are all different recipes. We've got another recipe, and then we've got the Essence of Earth is our best selling material that we have flipped so far. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead, we'll clear out the mailbox, we'll get everything posted up on the auction house, and we'll take it from there. So we've still got, as you can see, a bunch of recipes, a lot still. We also have a few sales just from that we missed last time that we're waiting over in the mailbox. But what we're doing at the moment is we're going to post everything up in the auction house just so we can clear out our mailbox, and we can have these items that we already have posted up on the auction house so they can get more sales. Like I mentioned, in this episode, we're mainly going to focus on trying out a new market and showing you how the transmog market works. There's a lot of gold to be made from the transmog market, and because the transmog market is new to Classic Cata, meaning that you can only just now actually transmog items, a lot of people are buying these items and they sell a lot better than retail transmogs, for example. And there's not too many people that are actually selling these, and so you have a lot of the market to yourself. If you have my Cataclysm flipping guide, you'll have all these groups for TSM. Now we have a bunch of groups and they're all sorted out very nicely, so you can search them for whatever sort of armor piece and how rare you want the piece to be. We also have a group which is called Best Transmogs, and this has the top 100 transmogs to flip in my personal opinion, so some of the most sought after transmogs. As you can see though, we have all the different armor pieces, and you can sort them from your epic, rare and uncommon, and we also have this set up for all of the different weapons. So you got your bows, crossbows, daggers, absolutely all the different weaponries, and you can sort them once again by all the different rarities, which is epic, rare and uncommon. Now why we do this is because, for an example, say if you want to search all of the epics for all of the weapon pieces, you can go ahead and do exactly what I'm doing right now and just select epic for all of the different pieces, and when you run a shopping scan on this, it will just show you all the epic weapons. So this is going to be all of your purples, and the majority of the time these are a lot rarer to get, so they can actually sell for a lot more gold, and some of their epics actually look the best and have the best sell rate. So for an example to start off with, let's go ahead and we'll do a scan on all of the epics for the weaponry. So what this will do is it'll scan all of the items. Now obviously if you've been watching this series, you know what a scan will do. On the right side is the market value. Now with transmogs, there's a few criteria that I like to look for. So when buying transmog items to flip, I want to make sure that the buy price is lower than the market value, the region market value, and the region sale average. Now if the buy price for an item is lower than all 3 of those criteria, this is a good item to look at. You also want to look at the region sale rate. This number will give you a rough idea of how quickly this item is going to sell. So the higher the better for that number. Now if an item meets all them criteria, that is an item that I'm willing to look at and to see if I want to buy it. Let's go ahead, we'll do another scan here just so you can get a few more different ideas. So we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and do a scan on all of the epic armor pieces. So basically all the purples for all your different armor sorts. Let's go ahead, make sure we select all of these subgroups for the armor pieces that are epic. And let's go ahead and run a shopping scan on these specific groups. We'll let the scan go ahead and finish. On this round there's 220 available, Now obviously we sort the market value from the lowest to the highest, and we go through and we want to pick out some of these items. Here is a good item, for example. The buy price is 100 gold, and then the buy price is cheaper than all of the criteria that we mentioned just before. So your market value, your region market value average, and the region average sale price. So we'll go ahead and we'll buy that one right there. We've got these boots, once again, meets all the criteria. Let's go ahead and buy that. Now some of my favorite flips is where there's just one of the item on the auction house that meets all those criteria. Because when you buy this item, you won't have any competition posting it on the auction house, and you pretty much have the market to yourself. And how my operations are set up, it will go for as much profit as possible. So it really does benefit you if you can be the only one selling the item, because the operation will post it for a lot higher than normal. However, if you do need to buy out, say 1, 2, 3, 4 of an item that are all really good prices and meet the criteria, you can go ahead and do that and kind of do a mini market reset on the item, where you have to buy out multiple of the same item to make the price a lot better. But like I mentioned, some of my best and favorite flips are ones where there's only one of the item posted on the auction house, because you can ask for a lot higher than the market value, considering you will be the only one selling the item, so you don't have any competition to undercut. We've got a belt here, we're going to buy for 15, sell for 60. Braces and things like that you don't really see too much on your character with the transmog, they're not my favorite sort of transmogs to flip. My favorite would definitely be like shoulders, helmets, chest plates, legs, things like that, and weapons. Weapons go really, really well, weapons and shields, because they're like mainly seen on the transmog and will make the biggest difference to someone's transmog. So people are willing to pay a lot more gold for these sort of items because it will change their transmog the most. We've got these gloves, buy for 150, sold for 350. Really, really good profit right there. Let's go ahead and do another scan for an example. We'll do a scan on a different sort of group, or we could also select all of the groups. For this example, let's go ahead and we'll do the best transmog group. Now this has the top 100 items I recommend flipping that are transmogs. So this has some of your best of the best transmogs in the game that are in the highest demand and also sell for the most amount of gold. So some of the best of the best. These do have a lot of competition, so it is a bit rare to find heaps of deals in there, but when you find a deal, you can make tens of thousands of gold from flipping those. So what we'll do now, let's do a scan on all of the weapons, all the transmog weapons in the game. So this scan will take a while. There's actually on my realm 1,100 plus items that we're going to be scanning. Now in the rest of this episode, I won't go over every single item that we're going to be buying. The main thing you need to know though is that the buy price for an item is a lot cheaper than the market value, the region market value average, and the region average sold. Now if the buy price is a lot lower than all three of these numbers, this is your safest sort of flips to do with transmogs. And obviously the higher the region sale rate is, so your region sale rate has a number, and now the higher this number is the quicker the item will sell. So you also do want to make sure that you can get as high as possible region sale rate on items that you're flipping. Now if you're going to be flipping thousands of different transmogs, the region sale rate isn't too important because you're going to get sales no matter what. But if you only plan on selling a couple hundred transmog items, you really want to make sure that you focus on having the highest possible region sale rate as possible, just so your items actually sell very quickly, because some of the transmog items can take a lot longer to sell than other sort of items. So if you just keep an eye and make sure that they have a high region sale rate, this way you're going to know that you'll be able to move them fairly quickly. But I'm not looking too much at that. Obviously if it's super low, I will not buy, but my plan is to have thousands of different transmogs that I'm going to be flipping. So even if the region sale rate is kind of low, I'll still go ahead and buy it if it's a good deal and I can see a decent amount of profit from these items. So what we're going to do in the rest of this episode is we're going to go ahead, we're going to try to spend the rest of the gold that we've got in our bags at the moment. There's no point just keeping the gold in our bags. For this challenge, we want to make as much gold as possible, and having the gold sitting in our bags isn't going to give us more profit. So we want to reinvest all of our gold so it can be making even more gold for us. We currently have about 3,000 gold we need to spend, so we're just going to go through, find all the best transmogs that we can flip, and we'll go ahead, buy those up, and we'll get these all posted up on the auction house very shortly. So as you can see, we're starting to get a good collection of different transmogs that we'll be able to sell up in the auction house. We'll go ahead, we'll post these few ones that we've just brought. So for an example, we paid 18 gold for this, reselling it for 88 gold. We paid 35 gold for this, selling it for 341 gold. We paid 25 gold for this, and we're going to be reposting this for 154 gold. Paid 15, reposting it for 42. Paid 20, reposting it for 120. We paid 150, posting it for 379. Paid 100, posting it for 300. We paid 20, we're posting this for 93. Paid 19 gold, reposting it for 62 gold. We paid 15 gold for this one, posting it for 60 gold. Paid 89 gold, reposting it for 554 gold. So you get the gist. Every single item that we've brought, we're going to be reposting it for more than what we paid for it, obviously. And now how my operations are set up is that it'll calculate how much you paid for the item on average. So for an example, you bought 5 of one item, it will calculate the average price that you paid on these items, and it will only post the item when you repost it and go to sell it for at least 20% more than what you paid for it. But obviously it goes for way more than 20%. That is the minimum that it will actually post an item for. Say if there's competition or someone posting an item that you've already bought for a low price, it will at minimum be 20% profit, but it will go for a much higher percent, like 100%, 200, 300% of what you actually paid for the item. And you don't have to worry about keeping track of all the different prices because the operations will do all the hard work for you. Now if you want to get your hands on those, they are in my flipping guide. So in the guide it will teach you how to flip really in depth on all the details, the criteria and everything like that. But on top of that, it will give you these groups that I'm flipping with, and it will give you the operation that is very beginner friendly. And an operation is basically an operation within TSM, and it will do certain things that you set it up to do. So in this case, we have it set up for flipping, and it will do all that for you, and it will post the items at the correct price no matter what. So basically all you got to do is just buy the items that meet the criteria, and then go ahead, and when you post them, you just have to post them without even thinking about the prices. Basically, you just throw them up on the auction house and it'll sort all the pricing out for you. Now we've spent the majority of the gold. Let's go ahead, grab all these transmogs, throw them up on the auction house, and we'll see what the auction house total value is sitting at after this. And we've got everything posted, and the auction house is currently sitting at 52,000 gold, and we have 283 different items posted up on the auction house. So the auction house is definitely starting to grow, and we have a decent amount of items posted up on the auction house that are all really good flips. So what we're going to do is we'll do some cancel scans, make sure we're competitive with the price, and get everything all posted up. Alright, so it's the next day right now. We're going to go ahead and we'll take out all of the expired listings, and we'll go ahead and we'll post them back up on the auction house, and we'll see what sales we have waiting in the mailbox. Now hopefully we've got some decent sales waiting in the mailbox for us. We'll have to wait and see. But over the last few days we've definitely had some really good sales, so I'm pretty sure we should have a decent amount of gold waiting in the mailbox. Now we're just posting all the items up on the auction house. What we're doing is we're using the TSM macro, and this will basically click the post button for us. And what I do is I keep buying this to my scroll wheel for up and down. So what I do when I'm posting is I just scroll the scroll wheel on my mouse up and down repetitively, and this will post the items as quick as possible. And this is definitely required, well not required, but will make flipping and posting items a lot quicker. So as you can see, we actually have 8,765 gold worth of sales waiting in the mailbox. This is over past 5 days. So this is not all just in one day, but over the past 5 days of sales. So we're looking really, really good. Now this is going to be a good amount of gold that we can keep on reinvesting into even more flips to make even more gold for us. Now obviously we have this 8,785 gold in the bags, but we still have a bunch of items to sell. So once we've sold all of these items that we have still, we should be sitting at a lot of gold. Let's go ahead. What we'll do now is we'll post the rest of these items that expired back up on the auction house, and we'll go ahead and we'll check out what the total worth on the auction house is currently sitting at. So let's go ahead, post these up on the auction house. I'm going to use the TSM macro once again, like I was just explaining. Super easy to post items and very quick. Now, as you can see, we're just scrolling the mouse wheel up and down, posting all these items, and we're getting these all posted up on the auction house. Now, if you get an error, you just simply reload and then you can just post them once again. Sometimes you will get errors because you're posting quicker than the auction house can actually handle. But as you can see, we have another 35,000 gold worth of items posted up on the auction house, and we have 8,763 gold in our bags. So really good. I'm super stoked with this episode. Basically showed you how to flip transmogs and how the transmog market works. Obviously, the more gold you have, the bigger items, the bigger transmog items you can start flipping. Let's go to our resale tab. As you can see, we're now sitting at 15,146 gold profit from all the items that we've sold. Our top item are these shoulders right here. We've made 2,331 gold of those. We've got the next 4 are all recipes. We got the gloves of the Holy Might that we made 596 gold off, and then we've just got a bunch of other items. Now this is a mixture of materials, recipes, and transmog items at this point of time that we have sold so far. Super stoked with how the series is going. If you've enjoyed, hit the thumbs up button, and also if you'd like to learn exactly how to flip how I am, you can find all of that inside of my classic Cata flipping guide, which is the first link down below in the description box. This will go over everything from start to finish on how to actually flip yourself, and you'll also get my groups and my operations for TSM that you can import straight into your TSM with like one click of a button. Super easy to do, and you can do exactly what I'm doing in Cata Classic and make a bunch of gold from flipping in Cata. That was it for this episode though. Be tuned for the next one because it'll be coming very soon, and we've got some big plans.